Today it is time to cover my personal top 10 favourite ability star cards for Infantry in Battlefront 2. I'm just going to make it very clear that this does not include boost cards, this is ability cards only. And as always, these are just my personal opinions, so let me know your opinions in the comments section. Now at spot number 10 we've got Killstreak Infiltration for the Specialist class, and despite me not using this class all too much, this is a star card I've always got to use when I do rarely play as the Specialist. The fact that every kill you get while this is active replenishes your active time just makes it so much easier to go on some nice streaks and get behind enemy lines without anyone seeing you. Let's move on to the next spot though, which is the Personal Shield once again for the Specialist. One of my favourite things to do from Battlefront 1 was just to pop up the shield sometimes, and that is why I love to use the Personal Shield in Battlefront 2 as well. It's a great way to defend yourself from blaster bolts or explosives, and despite not being able to block out lightsabers, it's still a star card I have to use with the Specialist class. Killstreak Vanguard for the Assault class is up next, and just like the Killstreak Infiltration for the Specialist class, every time you get a kill with the Vanguard it does replenish your active time. The thing that makes the Vanguard so good is the damage it does, so the more time you get with this the better. And staying with the Assault class, we've got the improved Thermal Detonator up next. This is such a good explosive, and the fact that it's the improved Thermal Detonator gives it a larger blast radius and a shorter recharge time. So for example, if you're playing as the Assault class and there's a corridor full of enemies, you just have to throw this in there. Next up we've got the Detonate Charge for the Heavy class, and while this is nowhere near as good as Han Solo's Detonate Charge, as he can throw his a lot further, it is still a deadly card to use. Just like the Thermal Detonator, this star card's specialty is crowded corridors. You place this down, wait for loads of enemies to try and walk in, and then detonate it. Also, I just love the fact that everything with this star card is under your control. You decide when it detonates. For one final time though in this video, let's go back to the Assault class with the Toughen Up star card. This is just like the Adrenaline Stim from Battlefront 1, when you use it, it regenerates your health. What more do I need to say about this really? When you're about to die in a game, you use Toughen Up, your health goes back to full, and you keep pushing forward. Spot number 4 brings us to Disruption for the Officer class. Now this was something people hated in Battlefront 1 because everyone was using it, but in this game it is so much more balanced as it only comes with one class. This is a big help to the Officer class in general, to be honest, as they're very defensive, so sometimes when you are bombarded by enemies around you, you just use Disruption and it can get you out of a really bad situation. Anyone can have the upper hand against you in a game, but once you use Disruption, you can just kill them off pretty quickly. And sticking with the Officer class, we've got the improved Battle Command up next. This not only gives yourself temporarily more health, but also your team as well, so you're helping out yourself and the rest of your team. Any of your teammates within the radius when this is activated gets a health boost, allowing them to stay alive longer and withstand more damage. Just missing out on the number 1 spot though, we've got the improved Combat Shield for the Heavy class. A very different shield to the one the Specialist class has. Although this one makes you vulnerable from the back, the front can withstand so much more damage. This does also make your legs a bit vulnerable as well, so I see a lot of people crouching down, and when you do that you are fully protected by this shield and you can just fire away through it, unlike the shield with the Specialist class. So this shield is more powerful and you can shoot through it at the same time as having it activated. This is a great star card and that's why it's on my number 2 spot. But the number 1 spot is going to bring in a lot of hate. I'm prepared, as always, don't worry. We've got the Supercharged Sentry. Now let's quickly acknowledge the fact that this is not as good as it once was. It obviously received a nerf, so you can't have the Supercharged Sentry activated for as long as you once could. However, walking out from behind a corner and then activating this and killing anyone who stands in your way is one of the most satisfying things in the entire game. Despite the nerf this star card has had, I really do still enjoy using it, and I think it's a lot more balanced now than it once was, but that's just my personal opinion. But thank you for watching everyone, and in my next video I'm going to be counting down the top 10 worst Infantry ability star cards. I'll see you then.